Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lady T here. Thank you for stopping by once again. And if you haven't already, you know the drill. Subscribe, please. Okay, so I recently did a video about me having a child before I got married. That's right, my son, Tariq. If you haven't seen the video, check it out in my channel. I've had so many responses, be it verbally, by text, through the comments, just all over. And I was actually quite emotional with many of the messages, because I guess I didn't really think, well, I did think that it might impact people or people might think about it, but reading the responses, it actually hit home big time. So thank you so much to everybody who watched it and in one form or the other made a comment. That's the reality of my life, and that's how I've chosen to live my life and chosen to have Tariq as a son in my life. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate the comments. The comments are encouraging. They are super encouraging. I mean, it takes a lot to sit in front of a camera and talk, but it also takes even more to sit in front of a camera and basically talk your business. And I will only talk my business if I believe somebody out there will benefit from hearing it. And from the responses that I got, I know at least one person. And if it's just one person, I'm good. I've done all of this for you. But if one person benefits, I'm super, super happy. So anyway, what am I doing in this video? So I have got my husband Toks, to come on my channel and say the story, not the story, but say it from his perspective. So I guess his perspective of having a son before marriage. By the way, not scripted, so I don't know what he's gonna say. I don't know how he's gonna play out his story. So nothing is scripted. But yeah, he's basically gonna tell you guys his side of the story of his son, me, taking him in, and us becoming a family. So I do hope you enjoy this video. Check it out. Hey guys, so here he is. Here's Toks, my husband. You've seen him in a couple of videos before, so you're kind of familiar with him, so no need for introductions. Yeah, so I guess I will hand over the invisible mic to Toks to say his side of the story about meeting me and being nervous to tell me that, he had a child. I don't know. So, I don't know. Do you want me to ask you questions or?
No, it's informal, chilly chat. So we just do it that way.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
we met, all that jazz.
That's all done.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'd always said that whenever I met, Tariq, my son, was born in 2000. And I was in my final year at university then. Pressures of trying to finish final year, get a good degree. You as human beings, we always have a set plan in our head on how we want our lives to be, and obviously God then decides on how he wants it to happen. So yeah, I had Tariq, and
yeah, he had Tariq.
Yeah, got Tariq. The best thing that has ever happened, or one of the many best things.
I was gonna say, what happened to me?
Yeah, I was expecting that. Know your wife. So when you say something, you know what she's gonna say before she says it anyway. So for me, right from the start, I'd always said, anytime I met someone, I always right then day one put it out there that I had a son. So it wasn't, you know, a contentious conversation or an issue to be dealt with later on in a relationship.
Why did you say you'd always tell the person from the beginning?
Because from experience, not my experience, but personal experience from other people or stories you read, you know, guy meets girl, girl meets guys, they're happy, fall in love, keep that important part of their life, you know, quiet, or, well, there's no need to talk about it till it's necessary. And I feel sometimes you can have relationships that are built on, I don't want to say false grounds, but I just feel it's better we put it all on the table. So take for example, if I as a guy met a girl and she didn't tell me she had a kid, then, you know, what type of relationship are we building? So
like, I guess you're probably also thinking, if you can hide that from me, what else could they be hiding? Well, I don't know if the word is hiding.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, for me, as I said, it's a personal choice. Other people would deal with it differently, but for me, I think my stance had always been, it's better to put all the cards on the table and basically let the lady know what they're getting themselves into. Not in a negative way, but before I met Tayo, I'd met girls on the first day. My usual line, or part of my line, would be, actually,
yo baby, yo.
That's what I said to you, wasn't it?
Actually, not far from it. Yo,
we all know.
Are you guys coming into the club?
Well, we all know what happened. So anyway, no. On a more serious note, I think for me it was more about, I'd met girls in the past where I'd said, you know, oh, I gotta be home by 9 o'clock because I gotta look after, you know, I gotta put my boy to bed, and automatically they're like, and yeah, they say, oh, okay, cool, see you later, and then you call them the next day and they don't pick up.
You got aired.
Nah, that's
That's
good.
what they call it today. You got aired.
Yeah, but that's good, because that's what I wanted to find out. If I have a son and coming up front on day one means I get aired, then so be it.
That says a lot about them.
But then at the end of the day, who's laughing now? You know, I still see some of them girls outside and they're still single and they're still probably airing other guys that could have potentially been their husband. So the ladies out there, right, always look at the bigger picture before you decide that he's not good enough for me. I'm not saying go out and go and date or marry a guy with a kid or not a kid or whatever, but I'm just saying sometimes there's more to the story than what it is. And, you know, as human beings, we're always quick to judge other people without knowing the true story or the reason for a story or the reason for a situation. So that's lesson number one. So yeah, so for me, that always been the case. So met Tayo day one, day two, we spoke about it, and yeah, that was it. But obviously Tayo's video before this obviously sort of painted the battles she went through in terms of what do I do, what don't I do. But that also for me justifies or sort of backs up why I took that approach, because if Tariq went away and had a discussion in her head and had a discussion with her mom, blah blah blah, then it means that part of anyone or that part of any relationship is fundamental. And therefore, if someone keeps that quiet on day one, then what are you building from day one is the question.
So, when you told me on the phone, and obviously you wouldn't have sensed anything in that conversation, because we would have continued talking on that day, laughing, just whatever it might have been. But when you told me and we ended the call that night, did you have any thoughts in your thinking, how did she take that? What is she thinking? Or did you think, oh, she carried on talking to me like normal? Did you, I don't know, what did you, because whilst in the background I quickly ran to my mom's room, what were you thinking?
I think there are two things, right? So the question is, whilst I said that on the phone to you, I think you either masked your shock very well, because I didn't pick up the negatives I would have picked up in previous conversations with other people. And to be really sincere, for me, I wouldn't have been too bothered, because for me it was more about, this is me this is the story, and if you can't take it, then I think it's all well and good. I'd rather have that than have someone pretend to be okay with it, and God forbid, 5 years into the marriage, 10 years into the marriage, or when I said to you, I'm bringing Tariq over, then if you had pretended from day one, then it would still have come out anyway. It would have still been a problem. So for me, I'm more, my stance had always been, I'll say it the way it is, gauge the reaction, see how the relationship goes, But I'm not a woman, but if a woman's not okay with it, I think it comes out as time goes on. Okay. Some women grow to accept it and get on with it. So, to be really sincere, any man that expects a woman to just take it from day one and be okay with it and, perfectly be all right with it, come on, guys, let's face reality, right? But I think from a guy's perspective, what I was looking for is someone that understands me and understands the situation, and then is ready or willing to then grow the relationship with that fundamental part of me. And that's why we're where we are today, 12 years after.
Okay. How about as our relationship progressed? Let's skip. Okay, because as I've said before, Tariq, in the beginning of our courting, was based in Nigeria. For the best part of 8 years, he was based in Nigeria. But how about when you now decided you wanted Tariq to come over for Malachi's birthday? So my biological second son, he was having his first birthday, and Toks decided he wanted Tariq to come on holiday. What were your thoughts? And okay, this is going to be the real deal now. She's going to meet him.
So just to be clear, right? So it wasn't like Tariq was away in Nigeria for 8 years and I was running riot in London. So basically, Tariq schooled in Nigeria, and basically his early formative years were in Nigeria. I visited Nigeria every year, and obviously, as a dad, and that's probably another video for another day, irrespective of the situation.
On his own channel.
Irrespective of the situation, we need to make the best of situations and spend time, especially with our young men, and let them know that there's a father figure somewhere there. And, my father is based in Nigeria, and my father was always, with him on holidays. The family bonding was still there. So, he grew up with that fatherly love and granddaddy love around him. So, I mean, back to the question then, it got to a time where I started to think to myself, you know what, he's growing up, he's becoming wiser in the questions he would ask, and I thought it's a good time to get Tariq to start to bond with my family, with my wife, with his younger brothers. And the first possible opportunity was, let's get him over for Malachi's first birthday. Pre that, Tariq would always ask, how are my brothers, how's Malachi, how's Michael, I'll tell him I miss them, blah, blah. So, the relationship and the bonding was already there. And I think that kind of helped the next phase of our lives, bonding together as a family. Because take, for example, if Tariq was just there and he had no bonding with myself, with Tayo, with the younger ones, then how, as a guy, do you then bring it up and say, oh yeah, I want Tariq to come over? I think that the love was already there before, and this move was more to just basically solidify it, So I thought I sat down a few times, my own quiet time, thinking how best do I do it. But I think as a guy, the woman you're with. So it was more about me having my me time, thinking how best to start the conversation. And obviously, I can't remember specifics, but we must have sat down and said, it's Malachi's birthday, let's get Tariq over for the summer. And
I don't think that's not what I mean. I'm more thinking about I guess you kind of answered it. What was your thinking process in terms of, physically both worlds now coming together? But I guess you talked about it in terms of the bonding sessions, talking on the phone. So they were both sides were aware that they existed. So I guess you kind of answered it. Okay, cool. So Tariq came over and he came here for holiday. If you sitting back and watching us So you sitting back and watching me play mummy to
Yeah.
Tariq and the other two boys. How did you take it, or how did you feel, or what did you see? Were you happy? Were you proud? Were you nervous? Was it going the way that you thought it was gonna go? What did you see?
I think any human being, any man will be nervous, you know. And bottom line is, you know, I picked Tariq up from the airport, and you know, we had a little chitty chat in the car, you know, I mean, I had a chat with him to gauge how he was feeling, because let's not forget, even irrespective of how the parents feel, the kid coming to the house also has some feeling and some reservations. So, you know, the 1 hour, 20 minutes drive from the airport, I'd already kind of snooped, you know, how he was feeling. And, you know, bless him, he was confident, he was happy. So when we got home, my concentration was then on, okay, how will that relationship blend in? And to be really sincere, you know, I kind of was 99.9% confident that Taya would take him in because I know who she is. But obviously there's still that, you know, that concern or that fear. And I think as soon as Tariq walked in and, you know, the way they hugged each other, smiled, laughed, you know, sat down, giggled, I think for me, it took the best part of just 5 minutes really to know that, oh, this is cool. It's gonna work, you know. And I think over the next 1 week or so, it was just clear that, yeah, you know,
You made the right choice. I was the perfect girl. Perfect girl for your son.
I would say the family was a perfect choice.
You could give me some props here, bruv. You know what I mean? Like, you can props me.
We'll give you the props, or you have all the props. I mean, come on, I've said that from the beginning.
No, you have not said it from the beginning. Say it, say the words.
Okay. She was the right one. She did a great job. You know, the CV was good. The review was good. She got the job. She passed her probation period, you know. So, yeah. But, you know, and over a couple of weeks after that, you know, they're going out shopping together. Me, I would be at home, and they would go out shopping together. They would come back.
He doesn't do that with me anymore. Tariq, that is, doesn't come out shopping with me.
Yeah, right. He's probably he does.
Actually, he does. But that could be another conversation, but we'll leave that for another day. But yeah, he actually does still do quite a bit with me.
The other conversation for later on is how you bring your son into the house, and then your son becomes very pally with the missus, jealousy. You now feel left out. Like, jealousy. You know, I'd be in the living room and the whole house will be quiet, and I'll be wondering where are all these people, and then I'll go upstairs to my room and Tariq will be lying on the bed and having a chat, laughing with Taya. And guys,
jealousy.
Sometimes it is painful because you're thinking, geez man, what's going on? What about me? Yeah, what about me? You know? But it's what it is, and I think as a guy, you'd rather see that,
than see the
war in the house,
than see the opposite side.
In the house, you know, I mean, Tariq is grown up now; he's 20, so the dynamics of the relationship between myself and Tariq has also swung a bit. And guys, that's something that happens. You know, through different age stages, you're gonna have different relationships with your kids. So, take for example. Back then, whilst Tariq was in secondary school, end of secondary school, going into college, Daddy was the bad cop. So basically, he would have conversations with Mommy. Mommy knew everything he was doing, and da. But at the end of the day, in my head, my thinking was, yeah, I'm happy to be the bad cop because I have a plan for your life, and I need to keep you on the straight and narrow. And if it means you will achieve what you're capable of achieving in the end, then so be it. Let me be the bad cop. And I think that happened that went on for about 3-4 years.
Yeah, it went on for quite a while.
But I think looking back now,
it's paid off. It's paying off.
Second year university away.
Yeah.
It's paid off. Yeah. And I'm happy that happened back then. But yeah, you know, people might look at me and think, yeah, I'm the lucky one, and it doesn't happen like that in most homes. But to be sincere, guys and ladies, I think how you guys structure the relationship from the beginning, the foundation, coming straight up and letting the lady know so that the lady doesn't feel you sold her a lie in the first place, how you obviously engage the kid involved as well is also key. Because even if your wife is perfect, the kid might rebel.
Yeah.
Because the kid might not necessarily like how you, the dad, have actually done the engagement or the integration. So I think it's key to just, I mean, we can all at least enjoy some testimony from what I've said or how we've kind of managed to make it work.
Yeah.
I think where problems occur is if the foundations are a bit cricky.
Yeah. Do you know what? We could have probably summed up Toks's version of this story in very short, because he told me from the beginning. Literally, we weren't even really boyfriend and girlfriend. You were still chaps in me, you know? So we were still in that state. We hadn't even developed anywhere. So he told me from the beginning. So I guess my mindset was, I'm either in now, and if I'm in now, I'm all in for the long haul and whatever it's gonna, bring me, or I'm out. And I chose to be in from the beginning. So that's why I think the foundation, and we've had this conversation recently actually about foundations. If your foundation doesn't start solid, what was the analogy that I gave? I said, I can't remember, but I said something about if the foundation starts as a water foundation, you can't build on water and it will forever be watery. But I think we built...
I think the key thing as well is...
Trying to get a bit, serious here.
No, I think the key thing as well is, like, if all the simplest way to put it is, if all the cards are not on the table from the beginning, then you risk a situation where one of the parties, either the husband or the wife, boyfriend or the girlfriend, feels cheated in a certain way.
Yeah.
In like, or you didn't say, now I'm emotionally attached, and therefore you're now saying, or how come I'm now finding out when he's 10 or he's 11? I think sometimes one of the things women, and I'm not a woman, but I think from speaking to friends, one of the things, or sisters, one of the things ladies are worried about, they call it the baby mama drama or something like that. And I think for us guys, the responsibility is for us to also be able to manage our situation and manage scenarios. I mean, seriously, I think the issue is that a lot of ladies would always be concerned about the baby mama drama, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the good thing is if a guy can actually deal with situations and scenarios, then you prevent any baby mama dramas, because it means you're planning and you're structuring your home the way you want your home to be, and that's to be a happy home. Ladies worry about the drama.
Yes.
But we've been lucky that with the way we planned and set up ourselves, we haven't been in that situation of any dramas.
No. And that's because you've managed to keep both separate.
Exactly.
And manage both. Before I came along, you had managed the situation.
Exactly, and that's why I directed it at the guys. That some majority of the time, it's the guys that need to manage.
Yep. And
make sure that, if I can use the word, everyone's happy.
Yep.
And no one's feeling cheated.
Yep.
Or no one is feeling disrespected.
Yep.
If I can say that.
Because if we're gonna do real talk, and I've always said I'll be real talk. Let's be honest. You are merging for the rest of the life of that child. 3 parents, actually potentially 4 parents. Four parents, because Tariq's mother will live her life and then Tariq's father will live his life. So potentially for the rest of their lives, there are 4 parents involved that the situation needs to be managed.
Yep. Exactly.
So, we're managing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're managing it.
Well,
I'm just being mummy T.
Well, Tariq is 20. Grown man, he's done very well and he's doing well, so that's it. Everyone's happy. That's the, as we say, that's the cocoa of the matter, isn't it?
Cocoa of the matter. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is just meant to be a nice quick snap.
Yeah, for me,
chitty chat, follow up to your previous recording.
Because you guys have seen the previous video, and if you haven't, check out my channel. You'll see it there. I had a child before I got married. That's the title, and this was for me to let you guys hear his perspective on the family coming together, or me taking Tariq, or him bringing Tariq to me, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, and to be sincere, right, it's not. Don't think it's a simple thing, but bottom line is, as a guy, many times you have your quiet moment. You think about stuff. How best do I do this? You know, sometimes if you have core friends or people you look up to that can advise you on certain things, then yes, you do it. It's not smooth sailing. Like, it's not there.
No,
it's there.
But you've got to be willing to work together.
Exactly. I think the point is it's there, but it's how you deal with it. It's the decisions you as a man make. It's how you understand, the parties involved, the kid, the wife, even the other two kids at home as well, because they're two at one point in time. Then all of a sudden, you're bringing someone else in. But we're lucky with the boys as well, because the boys were very happy. Oh, I've got a big brother. I mean, they went to school.
And I think it's the way that we positioned it to them. You're able to, should I just say, manipulate young children's minds when they're younger. So
I wouldn't even say manipulate. I think it's more like you let them see the positives in a situation.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you got two boys who were 5 and you got like 3 and 1.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, they started knowing that they had a big brother
we kept saying brother in Nigeria, big brother in Nigeria, big brother.
Tariq is 10 years older, so for them it was like they were two young boys, and then all of a sudden there's this like big
superstar, big bro to look up to.
So yeah, things like that are just what you really need to make sure is in place, right, to make things work. And, yeah.
There's a saying that I say at work: teamwork makes the dream work. And we're a team.
Yes, we are.
But I do have something to tell you after 12 years.
Yeah, right. I'm going to have dinner.
I do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I had my nose pierced.
I'm out.